There you go. Let's go.
Is that good enough?
I am the commie.
And I am the liberal.
Listening to Blitzkrieg Bop by the Ramones and to open the show.
And by the way, today we're doing our show to make up from yesterday for not doing it. And tomorrow we'll do our show and we'll take Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays off and Friday to do our show. And next week we're going to do our show Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays until we
just like we promised.
And we'll get better at doing our show and we'll get better at doing our show until we do really well. As soon as after we do really well, then we could do our show more than 3 days a week. Now we'll see how next year goes with our show. We're trying to get as many viewers as possible so that way we can make lots of money as much as possible. Sorry about that. I burped.
Well, let's look at some of the headlines. What a crazy capitalist world this is. Please don't duct tape the passengers. United Airlines warns flight attendants. They literally duct tape passengers, if you could believe that.
Who would duct tape
on the flight?
Who would duct tape passengers on a flight? I never heard of that before. Second of all, it can cause a person to have problems breathing. Because when you duct tape a person, not only you're covering the mouth and the nose, you're covering the whole body. And for that reason, it can cause a person to have problems breathing. So what people need to do when they don't have a mask on or not stand 6 feet apart because not enough people are fully vaccinated yet is to kick people off of this plane. Not turn around and duct tape people where in the end the person has a hard time breathing and they have a heart attack or a stroke, God forbid. And they end up dying, God forbid.
Well, and now Rick Scott just went on Joe Biden and the 25th Amendment. He literally called for Biden to be 25th Amendment.
And Joe Biden is somewhat.
Why do you think in hell could they change, could gauge what happens that is possible?
The reason being, the Republicans on Trump's side called for the 25th Amendment for Biden is because their asses, as far as I'm concerned, think that Donald J. Trump won the election. In actuality, he did not win the election. And not only that, they think Joe Biden rigged the election. In actuality, Joe Biden did not rig the election. Joe Biden won the election and not Donald J. Trump. So to be honest with you, especially with the Grand Old Party that are with Trump and the terrorist network, the Golf Keepers and Proud Boys, Their asses need to get lost. It's as simple as that.
Well, now they're trying to do 25th Amendment, he mentioned. So basically, kick Biden out of office is basically what they're trying to do.
Biden hasn't really done anything wrong except for doing the airstrike in Syria. But the reason why he did an airstrike in Syria because the Assad regime kept bombing his own people. That's why he did the airstrike in Syria without getting commercial approval from the government. And of course, it's against the law, whether the person is good or bad, to deliver an airstrike in any country without getting commission approval from the government. That's an impeachable offense.
Not okay at all. I think it still won't be good because the airstrike, he still shouldn't have done it. There's no excuse for doing that airstrike in Syria. It was an illegal crime because it was not approved by Congress. On the other hand, a lot of presidents over the last 70 years have done things without the approval of Congress, as is prescribed in the Constitution. So the president has too much power when it comes to war and when it comes to military. So, on the other hand, Biden has shown to be more of a dove than a hawk when it comes to the pullout of Afghanistan, for example. And we're not going to say any more than what has already been said about anybody has been said about that. But I think it shows that Biden is the type of president guy who loves to not get kicked around. And I think that's what he meant when he withdrew from Afghanistan. He didn't want us to be in there for 40 more years or so. And you do have to wonder, what was the goal? What did we accomplish in Afghanistan? Nothing. We didn't get anything in return. And it was years of just endless fighting and war, only for the Taliban to win anyway. So, and if you're watching this from Afghanistan, those watching from Afghanistan right now, I hope you get out there. I hope you're safe. And I hope you're getting a better outcome today.
By the way, as for you troops that are inside Afghanistan, hopefully none of you troops that are inside Afghanistan won't get killed before you come back home in the month of October of this year. Second of all, George W. Bush back then had no reason to send these troops to Afghanistan. We did not accomplish anything in Afghanistan.
Well, the point of Afghanistan was kill bin Laden, get rid of Al-Qaeda, and we've already done those things.
Of course we have already done those things.
You have to wonder how much could we have had left when it comes to Afghanistan.
Speaking of bin Laden, SNL made a music video on bin Laden. And Osama bin Laden is evil as hell. And when you watch the video from SNL...
Oh, yeah, fuck bin Laden.
That's why, fuck bin Laden. You would
that was what it was called.
You would see how evil Osama bin Laden is. See, Osama bin Laden...
I think it was more of a parody, more of a joke than an actual
I
pro-war
I
ad.
consider that more than the joke than
Really?
than
You
the
think
poor
so?
war ad myself as well, because it was on SNL, and SNL they
Right.
come up with numerous of sketches, and of course some of them are funny, some of them are not, by the way.
Most of them are, I think. Uh,
The one of the
Sorry
things,
about that. There isn't any earthquake, just a little shaking of the table there.
the reason why we have all the shaking is because we have a
We have a
job.
very closed off set. As the show gets better, as more of you contribute money, we will get a better set, and maybe we'll get some green screen or two. It would be nice. So we finally did get the Patreon account business sorted out. So please contribute to Patreon, to our Patreon account. Like us, on YouTube, on Twitter,
and on Instagram, as well as on Facebook, as well as Patreon.
Yeah, we totally have accounts on Facebook and Instagram.
That's totally true. And then, of course, we have on Twitter, and of course, we have YouTube. We can make thousands of dollars on all of the social media websites. By the way, with Patreon, if you sign up for it, first 30 days you get paid $1,600. After 30 days, you get paid $6,000 a day.
That depends on how much you guys contribute, and of course, you guys and women, as we all, contribute to the channel. Hopefully, we'll be able to knock this out of the park and win and get some money. Because remember, you're contributing to common sense opinion and left wing content, and we support the left, and we are unapologetically as left wing as you can be on nearly every issue.
We are totally left wing on every issue. By the way,
we are.
It's as simple as that.
And I want to bring up very quickly Maki Kaji, the godfather, the quote unquote godfather of Sodaku, is dead at 69. Unfortunately, he died. So rest in peace to you, Mr. Kaji.
Rest in peace in heaven, Miss Kaji.
I don't know much about Sodaku, but I will say it is a game that is popular everywhere, and I think that it's sad that you had your life ended at such an early age.
So to let you know, everybody, me and Trevor shared the Facebook and Twitter account on Trevor's laptop. And of course, we share the Instagram and YouTube account, and of course, Patreon on Trevor's laptop too. See, Trevor's laptop, we have all of that type of stuff. And if any of you want to go on me and Trevor's Instagram accounts on Trevor's laptop, and of course, if you want to subscribe to our Instagram account, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, even Patreon, go ahead and do so and pay us $100 for each subscriber, each viewer, as well as donation. Getting on to the vaccines. The U.S. and the FDA made some more studies yesterday, and they found out that the booster shot of the vaccine is good for 8 months. The U.S. and FDA said that we will have to get a booster shot every 8 months until the pandemic is over. And then as soon as after the pandemic's over, it's one dose every year.
Yeah, and we have some breaking news. One of the two worst governors in this country, a man who has banned school districts from mandating mask mandates, a man who has pushed forward draconian voter laws, a man who has a so-called man who has done all those horrible things. Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, now he's tested positive for COVID-19. And maybe he deserves it, because if he's would not take it seriously at all, he did everything in his power to try to stop mask mandates and vaccine mandates. He's done everything to try to push forward some of the worst voting laws in this country. So you have to ask, maybe he deserves it. And I think that should be the communist position stance on this issue, uh, with Abbott getting COVID-19. So yeah, it's a problem, but he certainly, if you don't behave the right way correctly, you get yours.
It's as simple as that. That goes with everybody that refuses to issue a mask mandate. Hey, if you refuse to issue a mask mandate before enough people get vaccinated, you get yours. And hey, if you don't issue a mask mandate, you don't put out vaccines, you don't save people's lives, hey, maybe you deserve to get COVID. And let me put it to you this way. Trevor's going to even show it to you. The vaccination rate is only 50.8% in general and 59.8% with at least one dose.
Yeah, and we had 210,113 cases today, which is a lot.
And the deaths.
And 686 deaths. That's a slight uptick.
And still an uptick.
What it was. I know New Orleans, our city, is the first one to have a mask mandate. Vaccine mandate.
Yeah, New Orleans just issued a vaccine mandate.
I think the rest of the country is going to have to go that way, of vaccine mandates. And people might not like hearing that, but that's too bad, because we need to make sure every single one of you people are vaccinated, are healthy, and are not just driving debate away from this issue. And it is an issue, and one that we will certainly deal with a lot. And I thank everybody who is concerned by this, to put on your mask and masking up.
And make sure you stand 6 feet apart until 90% of the population is fully vaccinated. And another thing is, I'm glad they issued a vaccine mandate here in the city of New Orleans, because everywhere should issue a vaccine mandate, because too many people are refusing to get vaccinated. Too many unvaccinated people are dying of COVID-19. This goes as far as the flu pandemic in 1918, where the last vaccine mandate was made, was during the flu pandemic, when too many people across the world were dying of the flu. This is COVID-19. This COVID-19 is 4 times as worse than the flu. It's like having cancer. And I'll put it to you this way. Once you get COVID and you're not vaccinated, you're only going to have so many days or months or years to live. That's the problem. It's like having cancer. Now, let me tell you something. One of our psychiatrists, Miss India's daughter, she tested positive for COVID twice, and she was not vaccinated. This is why people should go get the vaccine.
Yeah.
And this is also why we should issue a vaccine mandate across the world. It's as simple as that. If you can't issue that vaccine mandate across the world, just like we did today here in New Orleans, all of you are assholes if you cannot issue a vaccine mandate. Because look at that death rate. 686 deaths is still too high. It still turns my stomach, 686 deaths. Those deaths were children. Those deaths were people that were unvaccinated.
Well, here's what it says
children
about
dying of COVID turns my stomach
Well-
because they don't get to live life. And even if they are adults, it still turns my stomach if they die of COVID because they not only you took their lives, but they have taken their own lives too because they can't bring these people back alive. It's as simple as that.
Well, the article here, it says Governor Greg Abbott tested positive Tuesday for COVID-19, according to his office. Abbott, who is fully vaccinated, this is from the Texas Tribune, who is fully vaccinated, is not experiencing any symptoms and isolating at the governor's mansion, spokesperson Mark Miner said in a statement. He is getting the Regeneron's monoclonal antibody treatment.
By the way,
sorry about that. There's some lightning and
it's coming.
Thunder.
Yeah, there is some thunder and lightning right now because it's not supposed to rain today, but it is raining right now. And so to let you know, God created lightning, by the way.
Heard that. Yeah.
If any of you people don't know about lightning,
I did.
I think the man upstairs just heard you, Trevor.
He's getting a Regeneron's monoclonal antibody treatment. The quote, the governor has been testing daily and today was the first positive test result, unquote, Miner said. Quote, Governor Abbott is in constant communication with his staff, agency heads, and government officials to ensure that state government continues to operate smoothly and efficiently. Miner added that, quote, everyone that the governor has been in close contact with today has been informed of his positive test. The First Lady, Cecilia Abbott, tested negative. Okay, so the wife is okay.
Well, that's good. The wife is okay. But as for the husband that tested positive and he's not vaccinated, this is another reason why we should issue a vaccine mandate across the world.
Abbott's positive test comes as the coronavirus pandemic is whipping through Texas, again with key metrics like daily new cases and hospitalizations reaching levels not seen since the last wave in the winter. The governor has received national attention, as we know, really international attention, but national attention, and rightfully so, for his refusal to fight the latest surge by allowing local governments and school districts to mandate masks or vaccines. Abbott has kept up public appearances in recent days. He spoke Monday at a GOP event in Collin County, later tweeting photos of him addressing a maskless crowd. Less than 3 hours before his diagnosis was announced Tuesday afternoon, he tweeted pictures of a meeting with guitarist Jimmy Vaughn. Abbott received the vaccine on camera late last year in Austin, hoping to set an example. Well, he hasn't set an example that well, because look at what he's done so far with the pandemic. He's done nothing to support regular people, everyday people in his state. In the state, he's guilty of not letting the vaccine go to. I mean, it's wrong.
It's very wrong because of the people dying, man. That's why it's very wrong.
Public
by
health officials have noted that while breakthrough cases like Abbott's are occurring, vaccines are still proven to be effective. Yes.
one of the things I want to tell you is that if you want to avoid dying of COVID-19, being on a ventilator, getting cut open, getting the scope put up your ass, get vaccinated. Because otherwise, you're going to end up like these people that get COVID-19 and die. You're going to end up on a ventilator. They're going to end up cutting you open. They're going to end up having to take this out, take that out, take that off, take that off. Then they're going to end up having to put a scope up your ass all the way up to your intestines.
Yeah, they will. This is why. Do what you can, but don't turn around over people who really badly need this vaccine. Come on, actually do so. And these people think they represent religion, they think they represent God. They don't, because I'm pretty sure would not have been doing those things if I were the one who was God. And that is why we need people who can run their states to the health and safety standard of the people. And we're not getting that in Texas from Abbott. He's done such an incredibly poor job. It's amazing. And same with the moron in Florida who hasn't done much of anything either and is now finally, thankfully, seeing some pushback.
And finally, he is listening, because he was not listening from the start.
He actually isn't. He's just finally getting some pushback, and some people are finally doing stuff to challenge him and his blank boilerplate response to a pandemic that has ravaged the state of Florida, Texas, and a lot of other states, but especially those two states. And I continue on to quickly wrap up this article. Public health officials have noted that while breakthrough cases like Abbott's are occurring, vaccines are still proven to be effective at reducing the severity of the virus. Texas has lagged nationally in getting a vaccine. As of Sunday, 45.2% of Texans were fully vaccinated.
Oh, by the way, viewers, the lightning just hit something. It hit a tree.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the end of that.
The vaccination rate is going to continue to go up. And do you know, by the time next week gets here, we'll be up to 60% with at least one dose. And by the time that happens, we would have 40% more left until the buffets open back up. Buffets will not open back up until 100% of the population received at least one dose of the vaccine. For right now, the buffets only doing takeout or delivery. They are not allowing people to eat there because not enough people are vaccinated that at least received at least one dose.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say something quick to the people of Haiti. We're sorry about your suffering from an earthquake. Over 1,941 are dead, and it's sad. And I just want to quickly say we're with you. You're in our prayers.
All of you people in Haiti are always going to be in our prayers. We are all sorry for you, for all of your loss in Haiti with the 7.2 magnitude earthquake last week. And that's another example of climate change, is the earthquakes. The earthquakes were only happening in the west coast of the United States. Now they're starting to happen everywhere because of climate change. And it's not fair that they're starting to happen everywhere because of climate change.
Yeah.
The Weather Channel put out an article of earthquakes on Saturday, saying that if an earthquake were to happen in Washington and British Columbia, Canada, it would cause a tsunami and hit not only Washington but hit British Columbia and put both of these states, which in Canada they're called provinces, underwater and kill everybody. That's if a tsunami were to happen, and not only in Washington but British Columbia. And that's the problem. If a tsunami were to happen in Washington and British Columbia, and the Weather Channel put out that article on Saturday. By the way, Stephanie Abrams, if you're watching us right now and you're doing the Weather Channel right now, subscribe to the Commie and The Liberal, and you will see what we would be talking about. That the article you and your Weather Channel colleagues just put out on Saturday about if an earthquake were to happen in Washington and British Columbia, the tsunami will put both states underwater, which in Canada they're called provinces, and kill everybody. And that's another example of climate change.
So to get back to um, Afghanistan, uh, here's what I think. A recent poll came out, an insider poll came out and said most Americans believe the U.S. should have exited Afghanistan during the first year that we went in. That shows just how many people are tired, sick and tired of war. People are tired of the same enemy crap that we've been getting over the past 20 years. There is so much war and devastation. It's absolutely ungodly for them to have such evil war that they have. And I think it shows that people are tired. They're tired of fighting. They're tired of the same old stuff. And I think that's why they're in favor of Biden pulling out. Most people are. And that's why. But of course, the elites and the media are going to say, well, we're pulling out right away. Just like Vietnam, when Vietnam wasn't that way at all. Vietnam, there's a myth, the stab in the back myth, that the Vietnam War perpetrated, that we left our fellow man there, that we pulled out and just left it there. It's not true at all. So we can do better, however, on one project, women. And because our biggest supporter in the Middle East is a women's rights abuser, and our biggest supporter in our next big supporter is in Afghanistan, had child sex slaves, and we kept supporting them. Why are we doing this unnecessary stuff? And from the absolute times of the pandemic. So it's wrong, and I think we should do whatever we can to try to stop it from happening.
One of the things I want to tell you is that Afghanistan has been having a major problem with women's rights for centuries.
Yeah, because of the Taliban. And I think there's a good chance we might have to go back in, though, within the next 5 years.
Because of how bad the Taliban is behaving. The Taliban is now thinking about escaping from Afghanistan and coming to the U.S. The problem with the Taliban coming to the U.S., I tell you, is America is for women's rights, as Afghanistan is against women's rights. But the U.S. is somewhat against women's rights because they don't treat women with respect in the White House. And the reason why they don't treat women with respect inside the White House is because they don't care if a woman becomes president or not. That's why Kamala Harris's approval ratings as vice president has went down, because women have no respect inside the White House. And that's wrong, of course. And that has to change.
Yeah. And you do have to ask, how much do we really have there? Because we have to also focus on our current issues, like healthcare. Look at the fact that more people died of drug overdoses than either war combined. That is absolutely one of the worst things in the world, that we have so much drug overdoses, we have so many deaths in healthcare because people can't pay for their health care. They can't do anything. It's wrong, and it's something that we have to do better. And that's why passing Medicare for all is essential for this country to stand on its own 2 feet, and for people to have health, to have better lives. And that is why we should have Medicare for all. Med for a. Hashtag Med for a. Which means Medicare for all.
Yes. And another thing I wanted to tell you is that Al Qaeda and the Taliban.
Free healthcare.
Yeah, free healthcare for all. Al Qaeda and the Taliban are planning on doing a ceasefire because they want us Americans, as well as the people in Afghanistan, to stop attacking the Taliban and Al Qaeda. This is the first time in 40 years the Taliban and Al Qaeda are looking to do a ceasefire, and Al Qaeda and the Taliban are not only going to stop attacking every country, but they want people in every country to stop attacking them. That's why they want a ceasefire, for that reason. I'm glad they want a ceasefire because for 40 years, Al Qaeda has been attacking every country. The last country they attacked before the pandemic was Japan. Al Qaeda attacked Japan before the pandemic, killing 100 people and injuring 200. The last Al Qaeda attack during the pandemic was in Afghanistan, which killed 49 people and injured 400. Now, the Taliban's last attack was in Kabul in 2016, killing 50 people and injuring 300. So finally, they will want a ceasefire. But you got to think of this. On 9/11, ISIS was created because Osama bin Laden's Al Qaeda, the members of Al Qaeda told Osama bin Laden, hey, we are Al Qaeda and we attack every country. Since we attack every country, let's make our own terrorist network, ISIS. And ISIS has been around for 20 years.
Yeah, and I think we need less capital and more commune, because you have to look at those people and ask yourself what it is they are looking at. What are they trying to drive with people who joined those groups? I'm not saying they have right. I'm just saying that they need help. A lot of them come from low neighborhoods who aren't doing well. They are coming from bad areas. We have to give these people help and aid. And maybe if they were treated better as children, then maybe they would not have had such bad lives in the late spring. In other news, in California, a federal lawsuit claims recall election oust Governor Newsom violates the quote essence of a democratic society, unquote. Two voters have filed a federal lawsuit against the state of California over an upcoming recall election to oust Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom. Their argument that the California's recall violates the Equal Protection Clause of the United States.
We're going to take a break and send it over to the Walmart Sports Desk. I'll be back. And we'll be right back.
You like this song? You could have won for. No. Sorry. To clarify, I'm anti-war and I'm pro getting out of Afghanistan. We spent too long there getting nothing done, nothing in return. It was a scrappy way of getting involved. We shouldn't have done it. It's wrong. I support getting out. And I think it was the right decision by far to do so.
Welcome back from after the Walmart Sports Fest. This is
That was a joke. Because we don't have a Walmart Sports Fest. We don't have any sponsors. We're completely anti-capitalist.
Yeah, that's why we don't have any sponsors for that reason, because we're anti-capitalist. But that was the joke.
The liberals hate it.
As I was going to tell you, we have like a new way to get people vaccinated. And there's one thing I have to tell you. Earlier today, the Atlanta Falcons reached herd immunity. 100% of the team is fully vaccinated. Since 100% of the team is fully vaccinated, they will no longer have to wear masks or social distance, the team itself. But all the other NFL teams still have to.
We're talking about the Atlanta Falcons, and we'll be getting to this and more in the final half hour of the show, which is on sports. But thank you for listening to, and I'll do a trivia. I'll let you decide what it is. Which song did we use? I'll let you in the comments find out what song it was, because it's a classic. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
But anyway, what we have here is news, and I mentioned it, that Newsom is being recalled. And I think the first gubernatorial recall election in California resulted in incumbent Democratic Governor Gary Davis being replaced by Republican Arnold Schwarzenegger. Here's the thing about Mr. Gavin Newsom. He is not like Gary Davis. Okay, this crazy moderate idiot who overspent money, who didn't know what to do half the damn time. He was whereas Newsom is smart. He knows what he's doing, and I think we need to realize that Newsom might be the right guy for California, and I think he's doing quite well.
I want to tell you. I want to tell you, guys. For the two of you that just watched our show, and you made a comment about us when we were on the streetcar yesterday. I just want to tell you both of you boys out there, if you are fully vaccinated just like I am, I wanted to tell you that's why, girlfriend. One of the things I wanted to tell you is that all of you girls out there will want to look for a liberal Democrat boyfriend as soon as after 90% of the population's fully vaccinated. You girls can go ahead and do so because I am always open. By the way, there's not even a day, girls, well, I'm not always open. I'm going to definitely be open as soon as after 90% of the population's fully vaccinated. So you girls out there are waiting for me. I'm the best one out of the whole DNC counterparts. And by the way, girls,
you are a member of the DNC.
That's why. And so let you know, girls. Thank you for liking or show them the Commie and The Liberal. Thank you for making a comment about us. And if you want to be my if you want to be my girlfriend, as soon as after
that's the name of the song. That's it.
90% of the population's fully vaccinated, and as soon as after you all got your shots, you can go ahead and do so.
Why don't we get back to the show?
And thank you
this
for
liking
our
show. This isn't I Need a Girlfriend.
And thank you for speaking. Thank you for commenting and saying something to us about our show yesterday. And by the way, Trouble was going to continue talking about girlfriends. By the way.
No, I wasn't. I mean, obviously I'm not. But who I think really that got a like? That got 6 likes? No.
No likes yet.
Why don't you go on Love Island?
That would be a good idea.
Really? You would go on that shit? And then you end up on the Jerry Springer show right after.
Probably because it's not just the one girl I looked at. I look at numerous girls. So I might end up on the Jerry Springer show, but just because I'm looking at
don't be a perv.
Other girls doesn't mean that I'm a cheater. It's as simple as that, you women that are watching the show.
It's sort of. I'm trying to find the plug for the computer so I can charge this up while we do the show.
The plug is in the closet.
It's in the closet, okay.
Yeah, it's in your closet.
1 second, be back.
Oh, by the way, in Adam Sandler as well as Andy Samberg made a song Pete Davidson and Adam Sandler, who's in the Suicide Squad, just made a song called Quarantine in My House. The song was created April 2020 after the lockdown on March the 14th here in America. And March.
Yeah, we like that movie.
And March 11th throughout sports. Trevor will want to play you a song called Quarantine in My House.
Well, I don't know.
You're allowed to play songs. Even Victor said that the other day. Or counts.
Not really.
Yeah, or of course some director and producer and counselor.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just give him that time. He's a great guy.
Yeah, you can go ahead and play that song if you want. You know, it's a great song, by the way. It has to do with people that are going on quarantine. It's a big hit, by the way.
Okay, I really am trying to find the plug because we only got an hour and 34 minutes left in power in battery on the computer.
No, I don't know if my plug will work. My plug's in the closet.
So
It's in the bottom box.
It should be on.
I'm gonna have to look for your plug if you don't know where it's at.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, sorry for burping, which is also called belching too. Belching and burping are the same names, but everyone belches or burps every day. Everybody burps or belches, which is the same as burping from their mouth or their ass. Because so that way people will be able to survive. You can't survive if you can't belch from your mouth or your ass. It's simple as that. By the way, for you people from Love Island that are watching, or people from SNL that are watching, subscribe to our YouTube channel called the Commie and The Liberal, and you SNL cast members as well as people from Love Island pay us some $100 per subscriber and donator. It's as simple as that. Next Monday, our father, William Robert Taylor, which is also a creator of the show, is going to have his own show next Monday called Talking Hard. It will air at 4 p.m. Eastern Time and 1 p.m. Pacific, right here on YouTube and the YouTube app. It'll be on for an hour. It'll be on from 3 to 6, 3 to 4, starting Monday of next week. It's only an hour show because it's mainly about horror. It's not mainly about political and sports. In the meantime, right now, we're going into hour 2 of our show. We will have about 2 hours to go with our show if we can find a charger. Only an hour of our show left if we can't find the charger. Now, another thing I was going to continue talking on, of course, is SNL. SNL.
We're Ed Wooding it.
Is going to be back on in October. I have no idea what the guests are going to be and the stars of the show are going to be. But SNL is a political show as well as a late night comedian talk show too. The first half of SNL is political. The other half of SNL is comedian. Lorne Michaels, which is the creator of Saturday Night Live from 1975 on up, will tell you the history of SNL. Weekend Update was also created in 1975, and in 2020, April of last year, a month when the pandemic started, called the Sky Sports Report. And the Sky Sports Report was funny because he was not talking through a microphone. He was talking through a broom.
An hour down, 2 more to go on this painful broadcast. of the Commie and the Liberal.
And if we can find a plug that will charge this laptop, we'll go the full 3 hours. If we can't find the plug, we're going to have to call it quits in an hour from now. So we'll see if we can find the plug. But as within the next hour, I'm going to talk about celebrities, SNL, and of course, the Today Show within the next hour, and of course, Keith Olbermann and the Resistance. First of all, for Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live was created in 1975 with Lorne Michaels and of course the old cast members of SNL back in that time was Bill Murray, Chevy Chase, Jane Curtin.
Okay, right. But look at people talking about inflation. The dollar actually gained for the second day on Afghanistan. Delta variant. Despite that, they actually gained.
Go right ahead.
So basically,
you can't find it?
I think this is his.
It is his.
This is your plug, not mine.
Do you need a little rectangle?
No. Yeah, what happened to my plug?
You got my plug. I know my plug will fit into his computer. But I don't know where his plug is. It was in the closet, he said. He can't find it. We're gonna have to go through his closet.
No, it's hanging.
Well, we're gonna have to use my plug for now if we can't find his plug. I'm sure it's even hanging in the closet. Yeah, that's my plug. And I see another plug down there too. See? Yeah, that one is true. Yeah,
Let's not do this again.
And this one is mine.
Okay, I'm sorry, people. I'm really sorry. This is bad.
This is your plug. That's my plug.
We really should be more responsible.
I found two plugs inside the box in my closet. You realize that? Well, hold on a minute.
Which plug did I have?
Oh, you had the one right here. Yeah, that one won't fit. It will fit on my mom's.
The one that I first brought in didn't fit.
Yeah, and it fits on your computer and mommy's computer, but doesn't fit on Trevor's computer. I don't know about my computer. I haven't tried it on my computer yet.
Well, anyway, sorry about that. I'm just sorry for everything. It was just so bad.
But hey, we got the plugs. Let's just be on the safe side, people. And hey, that means you say both. Since we got the plug, we could do the show for 2 more hours since we found the plug. Otherwise, we would have to call it quits in an hour from now.
Yeah, nobody's gonna like this. Anyway,
it's true, man. It's true. Hey,
Americans are creating their own vaccine mandates. That's obvious by cutting ties with unvaccinated. We know that. Not that we know that. It's just it's obvious that those people, that people in general would do that. In
Well,
attempt to deflect and dismiss lawsuit accusing him of inciting January 6th, Trump says, "What about Bernie Sanders, Chuck Schumer, and Cory Bush? They've done nothing. What are you talking about? They haven't done a single damn thing." And you're trying to say this is it? Come on, man. You're such a loser. You all the time. Trump does so many bad things, and this is yet another one, trying to deflect the lawsuit. Hey, how about instead you go back and actually help the dying people of Puerto Rico? Why don't you go help the many people and stop falsely accusing and shaming and shaming the uh, Bernie or Chuck or Cory? And I don't even like Chuck Schumer, but what has he done to deserve such bad promise from this ridiculous, wacky, just invented ex-president?
and let me tell you something about Trump. Donald J. Trump, as far as I'm concerned, is a sewer, and as far as I'm concerned, has a habit of lying, saying that, of course, he won the election. That's why he's trying to sue Chuck Schumer right now. In actuality, he did not win the election. It was Biden that won the election. So, hey, his ass might as well get lost. That's why Trump is a sewer for that reason. Hey, the sewer is not that far away, so he might as well go down there. If since he keeps behaving this way, him lying about the election is going to incite violence. We don't need any violence outside of that door because of his ass lying about the election. Hey, if he can't stop the sewer, it's right there, by the way. That's where he belongs. So.
Yeah. But he's absolutely the worst and most dangerous president. And they have nothing to show for their badness. It's wrong.
Let me tell you something. For you people in this planet that are against social media, because Mother Gloria Williams is against social media.
Don't do that. Well, she's fine.
And how would she be fine if she's against social media? It's like,
I don't agree with that, but at the same time, we shouldn't be berating.
sometimes you have no other choice but to berate people. Hey, if people are not on your
I
side,
certainly know.
you gotta berate them sometimes. You know, this like her motto too. That's why we berate her, because some of the stuff that she wants us to do sometimes is not the right thing in exact. That's why we berate our motto for that reason. Everybody that's watching right now. And for those people that are against social media, by the way, they need to get lost. As simple as that. But sometimes, viewers, you have no other choice but to berate people, because they want you to do something that you don't agree with. And of course, a lot of times it's not the right thing in exact. And of course, you just don't agree with that person. If they convince you to agree with them, tell them to get out of your house. If they're telling you to agree with them, even if you don't agree with them, tell them to check themselves in the mental hospital if they're going to behave that way. Because the majority of people that behave that way are conservatives. That's the majority.
Yeah, the majority of people who do this, all of the people who do these things are conservative. They're right wing. They make no sense at all, and it's wrong to say that they could make up.
And I'll put it to you this way. Another reason why viewers Weekly Wait on Mother is because she's conservative somewhat. She's not totally conservative, but she's somewhat conservative. That's another reason why Weekly Wait on Mother, by the way. I'm against conservatives more than I am against liberals, socialists, communists, independents, all that type of stuff, and somewhat moderate. Sometimes I'm against moderate too, but not all the time. Somewhat against moderate, but totally against conservatives, because the majority are with Trump. Majority are against social media. Majority are against First Amendment rights. My mom can be one of them, by the way. But as I was going to tell you, now we're going to move on to the Today Show.
No.
The Today Show, by the way,
Fine.
came around in 1935. The Today Show started off with just a news program. Then the years went by, it became a political program. And then as the years went by, it became a sports and music and social media program. And the Today Show, well, it's somewhat good because the Today Show is somewhat on the left. The Today Show is somewhat liberal. It's not totally liberal, but somewhat liberal. The Today Show, I would say, is more of a moderate Republican type of show than it is liberal. But it's somewhat liberal, the Today Show. Hey, for you people that are watching the cast of the Today Show, sign up for our Commie and The Liberal
Remember
on
this?
YouTube. And you gotta think about this. Social media can change your life. That's why I'm for social media. That's why my brother, the communist, troubles for social media.
Yeah, but
and that's why our father, William Robert Taylor, is for social
what there
media.
is a problem with, though, is too many a monopolization and oligopolization of the media and of social media. There are just too few companies concentrating. That's the problem, maybe the biggest problem with it. It's not so much the attack, it's not so much the argument, it's not so much the bad deal stuff that my mom thinks it is. It's the concentration of per capita. And we see that in so many places when big pharma, banks, the video game industry, I mean, countless industries are concentrated by a few. And what does that do? It prevents people from getting the money they truly deserve, because it's concentrated and that drives up prices because the companies can charge what they want, and that is why it is wrong, and it is there. And I'm wondering if my dad is going to sit down and join us because he keeps doing the Usain Bolt thing that he made popular.
Walk with me this day. In my heart I know.
By the way,
Sorry, the camera can.
no,
Now
one of my
maybe this
favorite-
show's rebound.
One of my favorite SNL, of course, cast members. I wanted to tell you, of course, is Jane Courtney, Chevy Chase, Bill Murray, Eddie Murphy, and Dwayne Rock Johnson. Okay, Forty.
I didn't hear it.
Yeah, I didn't hear half the word he was saying. But I heard him talk about the SNL. He said you could talk about SNL, but try not to talk too much about him. But one of the things,
That was
one of
Neil
my
Diamond
favorite,
UK.
one of my favorite cast members from SNL, by the way, of course, is Eddie Murphy, Chevy Chase, Bill Murray, Jane Courtney, of course, Christian Bell, Cecily Strong, Kate McKinnon, Andy Bryan, Jimmy Fallon, The Rock, and
The
then
Rock's
and then
yes.
a Rock was a cast member back in the Attitude Era. He created his own podcast back in the Attitude Era called Boots and Asses. By the way,
That was a catchphrase he said back in 2008 against John Cena.
that was also his catchphrase too. Boots and Asses. By the way, hey, when you watch the Ruthless Aggression Era and Attitude Era, you will see what The Rock would have to say. His catchphrase is "The Rock is crooked." By the way, now I'm going to move on to, of course, Meet the Press. Yes, on Sunday on Meet the Press, the infection disease expert. Of course, it's not Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fauci was on the week before that. He was on ABC this week. The infectious disease expert said on Sunday that he said we won't get to the new normal until May 1st of next year, the earliest, and May 1st, 2023, the latest. Dr. Fauci even said the same thing. May 1st, 2022 of next year, the earliest, and May 1st, 2023, 2 years from now, the latest. The new normal depends on the vaccination rate. Let me see if I can get it up there. It depends on the vaccination rate. Vaccination rates just went up again within the last 2 hours. Vaccination rates now up to 59.9% with at least one dose. And fully vaccinated is 50.9% in general. So like the infectious diseases and Dr. Fauci said a week ago, and on Sunday, it depends on the vaccination rate and death rate and new cases when it becomes to get into the new normal. Hey, if you want to get to the new normal as soon as possible, get that vaccine.
Joining us now is the farm.
And social distance. Until 90% of the population is fully vaccinated if you want to get to that new normal.
Joining us now is our dad.
Hello, everyone.
He's
Hope you all doing fine.
I'm sure we are. He's our Reverend Shaw.
Reverend Shaw.
Yeah. Old Springer character.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's a new one to me.
He was big in the show, early to mid to mid to late 2000.
Well, what did he do exactly?
Well, he said sermons. Sometimes he came on the show. Jerry Springer would introduce him. He would talk about the morality of what was happening.
Oh, so you meant me with the habit of just walking in reminded you of that gentleman.
Yeah,
Ah, okay.
good old Reverend Shaw. I wonder if he's watching. If he is, just know I love your show. The show. It's sad that Springer is off the air now.
It would be nice if Springer was on the air because it was a great show.
By the way, I will defend the show. A lot of people think it's the worst show. Well, a lot of critics think it is the worst show of all time. It's not.
We know it's the best show of all time. The reason why the critics think it's the worst show of all time because it has of course nudity, language, violence, of course.
Well, of course, I think the reason why was because I think the media has a tendency to be against workers and people of lower class. If you notice, most of the guests on Jerry's show are poor.
Most of the guests on Jerry's show were homeless, by the way, and they were poor.
Steve used to work on Jerry's show, right? How many years was he on it?
Oh, he was on it for. That's actually a good question. He was on it for, I believe, 14 years.
What? And did he always throw chairs around like he used to?
Not on that show. On that show, he tried to stop the chairs from
okay.
But Steve Wilko's show, he allows chairs to get falling around. Because people will throw chairs on the show.
Because he used to do that in his new show, right? Throw around chairs.
Yeah, he does that all the time. It's kind of it's fun.
He hadn't come down with it from Jerry's show.
And when you watch, of course, the Steve Wilkos show, if Steve Wilkos is watching right now, or you viewers that were on the Steve Wilkos show are watching right now, everybody throws chairs on the Steve Wilkos show. There's not a single year of the show, a single season of the show where they don't throw chairs. The Jerry Springer show, Jerry Springer doesn't allow people to throw chairs, but on the earlier seasons of the show, he would allow people to throw chairs. Back when Steve Wilkos was on it, of course. Steve Wilkos left the show in 2005, and he opened up this new show called The Steve Wilkos Show.
Right.
And the Steve Wilkos Show, it's a great show because it kind of reminds me of Springer.
The news. Florida school district calls emergency meeting after 5,500 students forced to quarantine over COVID-19 outbreak.
How many did you say?
5,500 students, and we have a guy named Ron DeSantis. I've been told maybe I should call him by his real name. And I have been, because he really is a moron.
Yes, he is, right? From the different things we've noticed him doing.
Not.
It's going wrong, people. You're doing it the wrong way.
Yeah, and Abbott has finally got karma. Has finally catch up to him, as we reported earlier in the show. He now has COVID, and he's one of those two governors who just hate doing the vaccine mandates, who continuously refuse to do so, and who has downplayed the vaccine, promoted fake, false theories about it, conspiracy, and now he has the virus. So talk about justice
And I'm glad
happening
there's
today
justice.
because I'll go out and say it. He deserves it. He deserved it. You don't go out and attack people for getting the vaccine and from suffering from this virus and suddenly hope to have a good life. That's not how as this works.
And the virus knows no politics. For all of you governors that refuse to issue a vaccine mandate, it's now registering to all of you governors that this virus knows no politics. Listen to the video from Dr. Fauci last week. He was on Meet the Press last week, and he said this virus knows no politics.
And he's a moron because this district, where the 5,500 Hillsborough County School District in Tampa, Florida, includes more than 300 schools, 233,000 students. More than 5,500 students in the school district are being forced to quarantine due to COVID-19. And get this, DeSantis, the governor, has prohibited it and other districts from requiring masks. How stupid can you be? You can't see results like this and expect it not to have COVID and expect people not to get the vaccine when you're dumb bullshit that you are spewing are having consequences, and this is why it's so dumb to deny the virus, to deny the vaccine, because the consequences are showing in such horrible ways and gruesome ways. And this is why we need more of a targeted effort by state governments, local governments, to do this and try to end this virus. And they're not doing anything. They're not doing much at all to nothing to stop those people from getting the vaccine. It's wrong, and I don't like what I'm seeing, and nobody else seems to like what they're seeing. The only people who do are these loon Trump supporters who seem to think it's okay not to wear masks and who don't want to stop acting like a lazy pissant and go and get the vaccine.
Already signs are being shown of not doing different procedures that everyone asks you to do, like with wearing the mask and stand 6 feet apart. And when it's not working like it's now, it's new people have become infected. And a lot of them are the people that said that the opposite you should do. It's clearly, I mean, it's right out there. It's in front of you, So
It is.
Please, folks, let's think of our neighbor. Let's think of our
Thankfully,
family.
the lightning,
Let's not
thunder,
bring it
has
home.
stopped.
Let's not bring it anywhere else.
I think the man upstairs heard you and the thunder started again.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, the thunder hasn't stopped, guys, but the lightning has stopped.
The sound of those rocks. Think about Fred Flintstone.
Yeah. Well, the moving on.
Moving on. Unfortunately, the what do you call it? Saints ended up losing the other day.
Baltimore beat them 17-14 the other day on the first preseason game. Do you know the Saints' final preseason game got canceled because an unvaccinated NFL team tested positive for the virus? That's why the final game of preseason is canceled and been forfeited too. They got a new rule this NFL season, even preseason, that if any NFL team that's unvaccinated tests positive for the virus, not only they will have to cancel the game, but they're going to have to forfeit the game. And that's a problem if an unvaccinated NFL team tests positive for the virus.
Hey, talking
When
about,
you
excuse me, talking about football, right? For just a brief second. I want to say I was on the streetcar yesterday, with my sons, actually, the three of us. We're on St. Charles, and of course, that wonderful sign, I forgot what street, cross street was, but that they have in dedication to Drew Brees, saying thank you, Brett, for all the years and so forth and so forth. We totally want to say we saw that it's most deserved, and thank you, Brett. Thank you.
yeah,
And by the way, we'll be right back. We're gonna take a commercial break. Excuse me, please.
Well, welcome back.
All right.
Welcome back.
The Liberal is back in session. And it's interesting watching chess and seeing Magnus Carlsen dominate that board, but lose to Jan Christoph Duda at the FIDE World Cup.
Is the new guy any good, I guess?
Yeah, he's pretty
He won the
good.
championship, right?
That wasn't the championship, but it was the World Cup.
No. Oh, I'm sorry, World Cup. And he won that, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. This gentleman that won the championship, has he won other tournaments?
Of course.
Well, I'm not into chess right
Well, you
off.
have to win a ton of tournaments to even think about being close to
Oh, okay.
being a GM,
So he's somebody who just in
which means Grandmaster.
Grandmaster.
So,
I miss it. Good luck to you, Bobby Fischer.
Good luck.
He's
Out
dead.
there in heaven, I hope you win quite a lot.
I'm sure that you will win a lot of chess matches upstairs in the kingdom of heaven. So good luck in the kingdom of heaven. By the way, and I'm sure you're gonna be winning a lot.
And to top it all off, what we were playing the other day, the three of us actually, was Monopoly, the number one board game for
No, we
having
weren't.
fun. We played it for about an hour.
I didn't play.
Yeah, you did. You played for the first 15 minutes.
No, I
Whoever
didn't.
played for the first
Alright,
15,
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
I
First
didn't.
5 minutes he played.
He sat
And he
down
was-
to play, but then he excused himself from playing.
Yeah,
So,
he never likes playing Monopoly with us. He complains after 5 minutes, and I can't understand why. Because he used to like Monopoly, and
I
of
never liked it.
course Monopoly, it is a rich company, but they help the poor people. By the way,
They don't.
Monopoly, by the way, they give people money when
Since when has
Since
Hasbro
when?
done anything
Everybody's
to the
playing,
poor? No.
they have their own
Nah.
contests.
You're misjudging, I believe. Oh yeah, they probably do their own content.
They have their own
I would
contests
think.
from McDonald's and of course Albertsons.
I don't know. We'll have to check into that.
So, in other
and
news,
the lottery too.
in other news, we have New Orleans is the first place in the country to have vaccine mandate. And I think it's positive. It will, because it helps people who are vulnerable in community. And they sure do seem like they need to have better care. And I think you would agree with that.
I will agree with that too. They need to take better care. Let me put it to you this way. First of all, it's across the United States with, of course, the vaccine mandate. New Orleans is the first city to issue a vaccine mandate. Everywhere you go to, whether it be a West One hospital or clinic, you have to be fully vaccinated to go inside any place now since there's a vaccine mandate. Because otherwise, you can't go in. They got to sign up now everywhere you go to in the city of New Orleans.
So, since you're here, what do you think about Rick Scott, the senator from Florida, literally stating, Republican, literally stating that we are pursuing the 25th Amendment against Biden? They're literally trying to kick Biden out of office now.
Wow, that's something else. That is really something else. I'm going to take a step back. Something we were just talking about the the trouble of the virus and all. Being on the streetcar yesterday, I saw quite a few people walking up and down, jogging and everything, walking by the city park, and I'm just thinking, please, why don't you all think? How
4 people had the virus.
more people? It's not as many people walking as I used to see about a year ago. So it's working against us. We're letting it work against us. And please don't let money be part of the factor.
Okay, we have breaking. It's not necessarily breaking news, but it's the first I've heard of this. Unemployed Americans will get an average of $1,400 or more in stimulus money in 2021.
And which month would that be?
It will be. Let me see. We still don't know yet, but it will most likely next month.
Well, here's some good news, everybody. We'll be getting another payment, and everybody.
Yeah, unemployed people will, and this is good because there's not as many unemployed people, so it's obvious you want to reduce that to 0. They might actually have a chance of doing that now, because of what's happened, and maybe having full employment. So, but of course, they still are oppressed, and that's why we need to transition immediately away from capitalism and into a communist society. I think they need to have a better outcome, and we would see better outcomes under those systems than under the capitalist system. Earn better money when it comes to health statistics, labor force statistics, and etc. So we definitely need to look at a communist system, or maybe just having a socialist system, and we would have gotten that if we had elected the man who I still believe is the right man for the job, and that is Bernie Sanders. It's amazing how many people still support him all the time. I see cars with this bumper sticker of Bernie 2020, or Bernie 2016 even, but 2020. And we definitely need him more than ever.
And so to let you know,
And he's doing a lot of crap and done,
and we need a person.
which is not a shot. That's just me trying to say he's getting a lot of stuff done, to put it better.
And one of the things I want to tell you,
including the $33.5 trillion budget, which proposes some of the most sweeping changes since the New Deal. So we're doing a lot better with him in
and
charge.
by the way, one of the things I want to tell you, that for everybody across the world that is against social media can change people's lives. Social media can get the poor people off the streets. Social media can get people rich and have a better off financial situation and financial stability life. So for everybody that's against social media, you better think twice before refusing to allow people, including themselves, even to go on social media. And not only that, social media is not a website for bullies. Social media is a website for moving forward in life. It's a website for getting rich. Social media is a website to change your financial situations. That's what social media is a website for. Even our father William Robert Taylor would tell you. Even our communist Trevor Williams would tell you. Even Miss India and Victor would tell you. That's what social media is for.
Everything that they have right now, we can keep it a plus, make it a plus. There's some things gotta disappear, and make it a little less rocky road. But it's more good comes of it than bad. So, and right now, it's one thing we can move ahead together.
I'm laughing at this article. Progressives should be happy. What progressives should love Bitcoin, like this from Bitcoin Magazine. It's like they don't understand how ideology works. We don't like Bitcoin because it's libertarian and from the right perspective. So that is why we don't like Bitcoin. So,
Bitcoin was created in March 11th of last year when the pandemic started.
it's actually been around a little while longer. I think 2017 maybe.
Bitcoin
or 16.
is way far to the right with the libertarian perspective. And that's why we don't like Bitcoin for that reason.
I really can't say much on it. I haven't really followed into it. Unfortunately, a lot of things you find on the computer, I get into looking up different things, outlooks in different countries, look up, trivia stuff, what's on there. That's how I entertain myself with the internet. Yeah, no, it has helped a lot. I mean, I've rented apartments and houses through the internet, and I've been able to do quite a bit more using it. Of course, I purchased other things like books, etc. But it is something that we can make sure we use in the best of our interests.
Yeah, and
So to let you know, we're gonna take a break. Excuse me, please, and we'll be back on air in about 5 minutes from now. I'll be right back.
I know.
Introducing
Okay, let's not have too many of these things. Let's not have too many of these stories.
Yeah.
I'm sure I have the rights for this.
Let's go. Oh. Let's go. Oh. Let's go. Oh. Let's go. The moment is daylight. You're going through a time bomb. You need to listen to that mind. Let's keep up. I'm running in the backseat. Get the right speed.
Thankfully, we only have over an hour to go. Good,
Well, hello, folks. We're gonna come by and say, hey, it's been a while. Kind of.
Yeah, we're almost down to our final hour of the show.
You know, this weekend, like I said, we stopped at BK. I know you know what that is. The initials for
Burger King.
Burger King. But
No
we
advertising.
we had no advertising. I'm not doing this for advertising. I was saying I had a delicious, scrumptious, what do you call it, vanilla milkshake, and I just had to mention that to you. That was one of the highlights of the weekend.
Yeah, well, we'll have a lot to talk about when it comes to sports because there's lots of sports news. Pierside meteor shower 2021 thrills sky watchers.
And by the way, so let you know the noise that you're hearing from the window, it's rain. The rain is back, by the way. There was a potential meteor shower that was supposed to happen in the month of September. I saw half moons within the past 5 days. Half moons, and they were glowing from the sky. I saw it through the window.
I didn't notice that myself. Well, I didn't go out for later anyway.
My dad usually doesn't go out later in the evening because he hates going out at night. And the reason why he does is because, hey, a lot of crazy people out there.
Wow.
Yeah, it's always good to stay safe.
Oh.
Sure. So, hey, Trevor, did you what new sport news did you notice?
Well, we're not at the final
Oh, I thought we were right there. How far are we?
Almost up there. It's almost 35 minutes until we get up there.
Oh, okay.
We're going in the hour
That's all-
2, by the way. The first 2 hours of it's over.
When's that over?
That's over in 5 minutes, the first 2 hours of it.
This town in America to ban new gas stations is the tide turning. That's interesting.
And new gas station?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. We're thinking about going
Electric, which is great. Because we shouldn't even have gas stations. If anything, we should have electric stations. Or water stations,
Yeah, I
and
was
not
gonna
gas
Yeah,
stations.
I'm sure we could look into having something, on water actually. Since water is something we don't run out of. And,
A movement in California seeks a moratorium on new pumps and a transformation of the U.S. transportation system.
And of course, every electric and gas, as well as water station, should have a bathroom. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
Yeah, we have bathrooms at every gas station. Hey, might as well have them in every electric and water station, just in case anybody has to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
And hey, put a portable outside the water and electric station, just in case the bathroom's out of order. The bathroom's out of order. Put a portable outside of every electric and water station, just in case.
So what did you find over there, Trevor?
Well, Emily Bitt remembers a time when she didn't feel the constant threat of climate change. Her family, this article in The Guardian, lives in American Canyon in southern Napa County, California, a state now being hit by record high temperatures and devastating wildfires. It didn't used to be this bad, quote unquote, she said. These days, her family has to evacuate their home every summer. 2 of her friends lost their homes in Paradise, the town consumed by the 2018 Camp Fire disaster, the deadliest in California history. Last year, a wildfire burned the nature reserve behind her local school until it was entirely black. Quote, it was like something from a dystopian novel. She worries about her younger siblings, a 12-year-old sister and an 8-year-old brother, what it's going to be like in the future, she asked. So basically, what it's getting to is they started to ban gas stations in the state. And starting with this place, and maybe it'll be a movement that'll catch on. I personally think this could be a good idea. It's about time we started to look more with climate change, because we don't have that much time left, as I said on the last episode on Friday. We don't have that much time left, and we need to do whatever it is we well can to ensure climate change does not ravage the world. And it is connected to capitalism, even if it means implementing eco-socialism or eco-communism. It shows that we need to do something to try to end this problem. And with that, we're reaching our final hour of the Commie and the Liberal.
Yes, this is the final hour of the Commie and the Liberal. We just went past 2 hours. The final hour will mainly be about climate change, sports, and of course the National Football League and the Parallel Olympic Games, which starts next Tuesday with the opening ceremony at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, 6 a.m. Central Time, and 6 o'clock p.m. Tokyo, Japan time, right here on NBC, Television Sports Network, and Canadian
Did
Broadcasting
you
Company.
know the NFL is the third most hated corporation?
It is because too many NFL players keep getting injured. And that's why it's the third hatest corporation in the world.
I don't think that's why.
And I tell you,
So you're saying they're the most hated?
They're the third most hated corporation in the country.
They rubbed shoulders the wrong way.
In the
7
world.
days.
Didn't get along. Well, we're not on the same page of the book.
Well, the way they treat their players.
They don't pay them enough money either.
No, they do. It's just that
The
way they don't do much when it comes to the issue of CTE. That's what I mean.
Yeah, they do get quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
So,
But they don't do very much issue to the CTE, I'll put you this way. And one of the things I want to say is what I mean by they don't do that much issues on the CTE is they don't get along. They don't stick to the same issues, and they're never on the same page. The players get injured too much. That's another problem. It's like with wrestling, the wrestlers get injured too much too. A lot of people are suing the NFL and wrestling because of all these
Not
injuries they
insane,
keep
but-
getting.
Be more specific. What do you mean by wrestling? You mean the WWE?
pro wrestling?
I mean pro wrestling,
And
yeah.
What division?
The-
WWE,
You mean what
and
company? What
TNA.
company? Well, now it's called Impact, but thankfully, because TNA is such a bad name to call a company.
Oh, I get the message.
It is, but
Okay, TA. Oh, yeah.
bad joke. Yeah. But
Dixie Carter's the owner of Impact Wrestling.
she hasn't owned it for a while, actually. It went through so many, quite a
Then
few.
Vince
different
McMahon
owners.
bought it.
No,
Not that time. I think Vince has his hands full with starting off his new football league. Hopefully it'll go over. It'll be something. And their style of playing will be different than the other guy's style of playing. So we'll see.
yeah. So okay.
Oh, excuse me. Referring back to the other football, it's good because that opens up a lot more opportunity, a lot more jobs for other people. You have another, league of football players. It's quite a few individuals
Yeah, it could.
that add to a positive effect. So let's hope it all goes right.
Yeah. Well, we have 20 under 26 minutes. 26 minutes 32 seconds till the final half hour of sports. But
So what other sports news do you have?
nationally, just
He just asked you what other sports do you
know?
have.
Can I say
we're
something?
not doing sports.
I don't
Hold
know.
on a sec, Troy.
I don't know if it's going over. Russia or Japan, actually.
Japan,
Yeah.
actually.
Has claimed the most wins for the
Olympics.
Olympia. So I don't know how much is behind it. I haven't taken time to check it yet, but that's what I heard. So by so many, once they totaled up the different awards, but the main thing is the camaraderie.
Yeah. So, is it on the shoulders, the weight of those companies like General Motors, for example, to create cars with less polluted and with that are more affordable as well for the consumer?
Yeah, just remember every breath we take and all that. Well, every breath we take includes the polluted smoke which goes into our inside of our body and and it helps aid in killing us. So if there's a chance to go the opposite direction, we should away from oil, and water, oil and gas and all that. So
Hey, by the way, one of the things I want to tell you is that if we can get away from oil and gas and go with electric and water, let's go ahead and do so. Otherwise, more people are going to die of cancer. We don't need more people dying of cancer. Do you know cancer is the second killer in the war?
Yeah, it is next to heart attacks.
our cats first.
And in America, the biggest killer for health and in many is capitalism, because that it is that needs to higher price caps in this country, and has led to over 5,000 deaths a month, or now
50,000 deaths a
year from people who are just simply not getting the health care they need and are being overpriced. So, yes, we need a healthcare system that works for all of our needs, not just for one person.
And by the way, if we can end capitalism, it won't be tied with heart attack as the number one most killer in the war. Capitalism and heart attack are both tied in first place right now for the number one most killer in the war. Second would be cancer. Third, of course, would be heart disease.
Capitalism is the number one killer, the number one oppressor, the number one evil, the number one bad, the number one sprint. It's right in every one place. It is worse than our system. It's just so rigged against the system, against so many people, that it's wrong for it to continue. And that's why we need a better system. And I stand for that better system. And I think it's obvious what I think about what this system is that I'm referring to. And that's communism.
Oh, by the way, one of the things I want to tell you is, of course, with the iOS. First of all, another person just recently was being charged for tax evasion. By the way, and it was from the Trump administration.
Yeah.
He deserved to be charged for tax evasion. Although the whole Trump organization deserves to be charged with tax evasion because they didn't file their income tax. Let me tell you something. The Trump organization, including Trump himself, they were charged with tax fraud, which is the same as tax evasion. Trump organization did not file their income tax for 25 years, from 1991 to 2016.
That's
Donald
exactly
Trump himself did not file income tax from 2001 to 2011. Donald Trump's children did not file income tax from 2001 to 2016. 15 years. Tax evasion.
Why aren't they not in a prison cell right now, like they should? Because just that information alone, it shows again how capitalism works. The greedy, the wealthy, they don't pay anything while you're being screwed over with your hard work, getting nothing in return back for that work. And that is the one problem we hold with this system. And I'm totally against it.
Another thing I want to tell you, of course, is so far there hasn't been any mass shootings since a couple weeks ago, or at least not that we know of. But a couple weeks ago, there were mass shootings throughout Fourth of July weekend, as well as the first weekend of August. It was a crazy weekend. Mass shootings happening all over the state of Louisiana. Now, the other day, when my mom was up and I was up, father and Trevor was sleeping, there was a massive loud noise right by where the lumberjack place was. We didn't know if it was fireworks or if it was gunfire.
No, but thank goodness it ended up not being anything we had to worry about at that time. But definitely you got to be prepared. You got to be on the outlook. Pick up that phone and get it, or go hop on that computer and let everybody know what's happening. You know,
Which is what I'm doing.
Speak out, and that's the way we find out.
If anything happens, you pick up the phone or you pick up the computer and let everybody know what's happening, because just because it's firecrackers doesn't mean it is firecrackers. It might be a gun too. Sometimes where we're living at right now, people have a habit of shooting off firecrackers outside of our window. A couple weeks ago, somebody shot off firecrackers and it hit my window a couple weeks ago. And I was furious because it could have killed me. It could have killed my brother, Trevor Williams. See, if people want to shoot off firecrackers, they need to shoot firecrackers off at the lakefront, not turn around and start shooting off firecrackers outside of someone's home. People shoot off firecrackers outside of someone's home. They can hit someone's home and kill somebody, including themselves. That's the problem with shooting off firecrackers outside of somebody's home. It's very dangerous, by the way.
Most definite word for comment about to recall everyone's attention about looking out for things and keeping them under control and working together as one.
Yeah.
What else on the sports front do we have? I know we kind of got off the the outline doing this and talking.
Well, that's because we technically aren't doing sports until about under 15 minutes.
And first of all, we're going to get to golf right now because the golf playoffs are now starting right now with the Northern Trust Open on CBS and Golf Channel, BMW Championship. Yes, Roy. And of
I'd be
course,
happy to see it go on Tiger if he was there.
and
But unfortunately, without Tiger.
well,
But then there's Rory. Yay! You know, pretty cool guy.
and by the way, Tiger Woods won't be playing until January of next year after that car crash, March of this year. And another thing I also want to tell you right now is that you have the BMW Championship on CBS and Golf Channel, which is the second round of the golf playoffs. And then you have the Tour Championship presented by Coca-Cola on CBS and Golf Channel. Golf playoffs are on CBS and Golf Channel this year because of the parallel Olympic Games. Otherwise, it would be on NBC, which would include the Honda NBC Sports Desk with whoever in the Golf Channel studio. Now, for you Golf Channel announcers from CBS and Golf Channel that are watching this right now, subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Commie and The Liberal, and pay us $100 each. Another,
on Patreon,
especially on Patreon, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.
Yes, definitely,
And
because
Patreon.
we need the money to contribute to this channel. YouTube has since defunded a lot of political shows, so we need the money now to continue to do this and to be the best what we can be. So please contribute $100 to our campaign and to our channel, and you will receive the best content you could ask for.
Hey, I'll let you know a thing of, for instance, we're talking about, golf and all that. But back in the day, I could do quite a ruckus on the golf course, do good and win and all that. Of course, I'm talking about miniature golf. I haven't gone tried the little one. I did try the regular golf back in college. It was one of my classes. I was known as the home run hitter because the way I swung my bat and everything, or swung my golf club and everything, it was just like a regular piece of bat for baseball. So, and I didn't take it too much from that there, but I definitely had a habit of enjoying playing them. And unfortunately, that's one of the things we miss in America. Miniature golf course. And I know, silly,
Well, we're not rich.
but we would buy one.
We would buy one if we were to get rich right
And
now,
we
by the
definitely
way.
play on it ourselves.
I would not because it'd be a war.
We love golf.
A
But
little.
of course, you wouldn't want to play it, but I can't understand why you wouldn't, because golf is great, Trevor. You hit the ball in the golf hole, you get millions
Maybe
of
one day I
dollars.
will play golf after I board. Yeah. Maybe after I go board Air Force One and go on his golf course and win.
You should take the ride to all the miniature golf courses across America. They do have a book on that. I've seen it in Barnes and Noble. So, and it's something you see in whether it be a big name store or it be a regular neighborhood store or city store. But keep your eye out looking. You come across a lot of good deals.
Yeah.
And by the way, you come across some good deals for buying a golf club. I know if you go like Walmart, you could find a golf club for only $5. And beyond, the most expensive at Walmart's $100. The cheapest is $5. Dick's Sporting Goods store, cheapest is $25. The most expensive, $5,000. Dick's Sporting Goods is more expensive than Walmart with buying a golf club. And it's the simple as that, of course.
Let's get away from commercial. So,
Yeah.
so what do you got over there listed through your eyes? I see you scanning, looking to see what information you come up with.
NASA to study a 700 quintillion gold, quote, gold mine, unquote, asteroid.
An asteroid?
For
Yeah.
$26 million, by the way.
700 quintillion.
What, they're selling it?
That's how much it's worth.
Wow, that's something.
They're selling it.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
quintillion.
I,
Sorry about that. The electric almost went
Yeah.
out.
but it can flip it right back on.
So we'll quickly go do the show. Let's now get the sports then. In new news, Hope Solo accuses Megan Rapinoe of bullying U.S. women's national team into kneeling for an anthem. I don't know if this is true. I know I defended her one time on the show because I believe people have a right to kneel because this country has not given all of its freedoms to black people and to a lot of African American youth and just people of color in general. Just are not always have been represented by the U.S. or its capitalist state. And I think it's right to kneel in opposition to just the racist vitriol that we've seen in this country and by politicians like Trump and people like him. So what do you think
I think
about this?
she always realized that across the United States and all that, we have the choice of making, doing that, to get the point across that there is really a problem that needs to be looked into.
Yeah. In other news, Naomi Osaka steps away from news conference after exchange with reporter. She's not doing very well.
Naomi Osaka has a history of mental illness. She has a course of depression and anxiety. Those are the mental illnesses she has.
Yeah, and she stepped away from the conference literally in tears, crying. Tears. And I think it shows that she's trying to be as strong, as powerful as she can. And unfortunately, she's not doing as well as they can do in tennis. So hopefully she'll get better though.
Oh, by the way, there's a photo on Google with them doing the sports desk or whatever. It looks just like the image of the Honda sports desk because NBC has that image of the Honda Sports Desk, by the way. Hey, Liam McHugh and Catherine Taplin.
Hey, do we have?
Both of you.
Excuse me. Do we have a new theme song coming on to Fox?
I will
We're
be.
trying to play it out and see if anyone catches on. I guess.
That would be cool, interesting.
Because the old thing is old. It's time for a change.
So to let you know, Liam McHugh and Catherine Taplin, if you're watching this right now, you got an image on Google right now that's blue and white that has the same color of the Honda NBC Sports Desk. The Honda NBC Sports Desk is still around, despite the fact the NHL's not around anymore. But golf is going to take over completely the Honda NBC Sports Desk. And Catherine Taplin and Liam McHugh and everybody that does the Honda NBC Sports Desk right now doing golf, you have the same image that looks just like the Honda NBC Sports Desk.
Right.
By the way, Trevor is going to show it to you right now, by the way. It's blue and white. You gotta keep going up to see it. That one right there. Show it to them on there. See, it looks just like the Honda NBC Sports Desk. You see how it's blue and white? That's the way the Honda NBC Sports Desk is like when they have on the Honda NBC Sports Desk. On golf and, of course, hockey back when it was on. By the way,
there seems to be a little bit of a problem with the camera.
Yeah, there's a little problem with the camera because it's flickering right now. Part of it is flickering, and of course the other part it's no problem.
Yeah.
So we're having a little problem with the camera. We'll see if it starts working again. If not, we're gonna have to just call off the show.
No.
Camera's starting to mess up.
Simone Biles in the lucrative business of celebrity self-care. It's Simone racking up 4 gold medals at the 2016 Olympics. She had a far tougher go of it at the recently concluded 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Only 24 years old, but with loads of mileage on the sinew and joints of her 4'8" frame, Biles stumbled repeatedly during the qualification rounds, yet still managed to qualify for the finals of each individual gymnastics event. From there, however, matters took a turn for the worse. During the team final, when the U.S. faced a significantly upgraded Russian team that would win the gold, Biles also. Let me stop here and say something that this might be controversial, but you gotta wonder, was there a little bit of cheating by Russia? Because Russia, maybe that's partially why she wasn't doing well. Maybe the Russians had the FSB rig the whole thing. Maybe there was some rigging going on.
Good possibility, knowing how they are regarding other things they've handled. So something to think about.
And you do have to think on that.
We have her on our what do you call it, last week or the week before TV guide. She's on the front cover, looking at her beautiful self, and with a majestic pose, being on the apparatus for doing gymnastics. For Simone and all the other ladies and gentlemen that participated in the Olympics, we're happy to have you back home. Thank you for what you gave.
We are all glad that you're back home and not still in Japan, because Japan is having a record-breaking 4,000 deaths per day. So thank goodness you're here, since not everybody's fully vaccinated right now. Because Japan's vaccination rate lower than ours, 13% fully vaccinated.
So
Yeah.
what were you looking up there?
Despite all the injuries, turmoil, and crazy things that have all happened to the Atlanta Braves, we are here in the middle of August, we are here in the middle of August, sitting in first place, and no one should be more praised for that than Freddie Freeman. The reigning NL MVP is up to his old tricks that everyone's associated with the Atlanta Braves have come to expect and really been taking for granted so more than we should.
Oh, most definitely. Hey, I was going to mention something I've looked into over the weekend, the last week or so. I've had a really good habit of catching horror movies, sci-fi movies. I know when we told you I'll be starting to do my own program regarding to
That's right.
horror films, and we're getting closer and closer. I'll be letting you know exactly when that closer is for opening night. So that's something to look forward to. But oh man, the movies were on the different channels. You think I only find one? I found like about 4 or 5, different channels, different times, of course. So a lot of times, and these are broadcastings from regular television. So from just the local station, even. So son, and I'm glad very much that there's such a thing as DVD. Oh man, it can get you entranced. All right, well, like I said, when I get untranced enough to let you know about when to tune in, I sure will.
Breaking. Tim Tebow released by Jacksonville Jaguars, ending former quarterback's NFL comeback attempt as tight end.
Why did that happen? I like Tim Tebow. He's a good player too. And why did he have a trouble with Jacksonville? They didn't like his style. That's the main reason. A lot of people were going to take him in the first round, but his style got the best of him.
People shouldn't be criticized just because of their own religion. Everybody, of course, should have their own rights to what religion people should have. Tim Tebow is being criticized again because of his religion, and it shouldn't be that way.
Barry, I really don't know if that's the point.
No, that is why.
That's one of the points, about how he finally did get the job and all that. But something was done wrong. I can't believe he couldn't make up your mind in opening season, to go with him. I wonder if somebody else is going to pick up on and do something. Hey, Jerry, why don't you come on, buddy, and give us a hand? Yeah, Mr. Jones, I'm talking about Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
I tell you, the NFL's in the middle. The NFL is half Republican and half Democrat. Half the teams are Republican, half the teams are Democrat.
I wouldn't say that. There's no way to know
that. We can't really tell. To each his own, whichever way. As long as we're working together for the right purpose. That's the thing that counts.
Biden, UK's Boris Johnson to discuss Afghanistan, agreed to hold G7 meeting. Just wanted to quickly bring that up. Niners cut former top 10 draft pick report.
Hey, is there a Monday night game tonight on television?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good to watch.
There is a Monday night game on television
It's
tonight.
not Monday Night Football yet.
Well, it's not. Well, it's Tuesday, so no.
Oh, it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I do that, people. I really do. It's senility. It's getting the best of me.
Monday Night Football was very popular back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Yes, and I was back there experiencing it lifetime, all the different ones. I started in the 50s. Yeah, and I started playing football ever since, or watching football, playing football ever since then. So.
Of course, so to let you know, I started watching football back in the 1990s.
Oh, well, I remember back in the early 70s, I went to go watch football. We were living in Tampa Bay, living in St. Petersburg, and we went to go see the Buccaneers play at their stadium on Dale Mabry Highway. Unfortunately, they lost the game, but it was a fun experience. And now they've won 2 Super Bowls. Lost the game back then, 2 Super Bowls. That's pretty good. And we're going to be rooting for them again. I like to see them do it.
Mm-hmm.
So what you eyeing over there, Trevor?
Well, here we go. Former Tiger Jose Iglesias rooting for Miguel Cabrera to hit 500th home run on Friday.
Wow, that's pretty good. Impressive.
Yeah, it is pretty impressive, especially coming from a player like him. He has had so many great days ahead of him now. So good things are coming for him.
And by the way, another thing I want to tell you is that on Sunday on NASCAR, by the way, the race got postponed because they had red flags, they had caution flags, 40-car pile up, 5-car pile up. The race got postponed. Not on regular TV, it's on the NBC Sports Network yesterday. NBC Sports Network goes out of business on October 1st.
Yep, it does.
Oh,
That's unfortunate.
Because of COVID-19.
Maybe because of a lack of viewers.
Yeah, I would say lack of viewers is usually the number one reason they stop something like that.
Yeah. Milwaukee Brewers will be taking on the St. Louis Cardinals tonight. Keyshawn Johnson says Texans quarterback Tyrod Taylor has just had, quote, tough breaks, unquote. Gatorade. Florida transfer making impact in Tech linebacker core. quote, man, Kopeek is nasty, unquote. Michael Kopeek continues to get pivotal outs for the Chicago White Sox and impress Kansas City Chiefs QB quarterback Patrick Mahomes. Will Kansas City ever go to another Super Bowl again? There's a chance maybe they could.
Well, they've done it earlier. They've been to it before.
Twice. They won one and they lost the one against Tampa.
Yeah, so yeah, anything's possible.
Or was
Same
it
with,
New England?
Same with the Buccaneers. When I moved there, well, I was living
Let us know in
St.
the
Pete.
comments.
St. Pete for a little while. Moved there in 1971, I think it was. No, 73. 73. And anyway, they were a losing team. They lost every game for a whole season. And then went on for the next season to just about do the same. But now they're two champions playing. You know, these Super Bowls they've won, different quarterbacks, different decades, different ways of playing. But there's always that possibility. And the thing I like to say also that I like is I like that commercial with Brett Favre and Jerry Rice. Man, that's kind of cool. So it's the dudes, man.
Yeah. Jets announced first round of cuts, promising UDFA headlines grew. Is Kevin Love on the verge of joining the Lakers? That would be huge.
That would be huge if he joins the Lakers, because the Lakers, they were a great team back then. They won lots of championships back then.
They still are.
They still are.
And they're still all great team.
Yeah. But time's catching up, and we're going to roll over to the next group of superheroes.
Yeah. Because a lot of the people that are still with the Lakers are getting older.
Yep, age matters to everybody. And sometimes, even though you don't think of the problem age, it thinks of you. It beats you to the punch.
Age always beats you to the punch unless you're Vince McMahon or you're Tom Brady. Because Brady is in his mid-40s and he's still playing football. Vince McMahon wrestled all the way till he got in his 60s.
He wasn't really a wrestler, but he did wrestle a few matches.
And Vince McMahon is getting ready to retire next year. Vince McMahon is in his 70s.
You're mixing that up.
There aren't any reports saying he's
you're mixing up
retired.
the information.
But
He'll be there for a while.
according to Triple
Next year
H,
starts their football league, don't it?
according to Triple H,
Yes,
Vince
the XFL.
Vince McMahon will never retire.
He'll always be behind it.
So,
And of course, if
And at least he has kids that will take over for Pop when the time comes.
Golden State,
Yes.
the Warriors are to play the Lakers on opening night, which could be a big deal because
Golden State?
it's Steph Curry with his league.
I know, that's one of your favorite team.
It is.
He likes Steph. He likes the commercials with Steph too. He's kind of like, whoa, there he is. Look.
we're going to take a break, everybody, we'll send it over to the Walmart Sports Desk. We'll be right back.
We don't have.
We don't have Walmart sports. Man.
Okay.
He sleep well. So. Well, tonight when we have a nice dinner, I haven't decided what I'm making yet. I'll be making. So let me get back to thinking about it.
Let's go.
Oh, there you
Let's
go.
go. Let's go. Let's go. The moment is daylight. We're going through time. I'm running in the back seat. The generator's leaving. The things in the back seat. Let's speak up.
Very, very good song there. Has a nice beat to it.
Yeah, that could have been the first punk song. Again, I think it's Stranded by the Saints. Anybody want to hear I'm Stranded?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe some other time. Now.
Hello,
Apparently,
we're back on the show live. The Walmart sports desk was a joke, by the way.
Thank you for informing me about that.
This is Stranded. The beauty of punk is it's short and simple. That was a classic take.
And by the way, that was a nice song. I'm stranded on my own. That was a nice classic take here. A next song you should play, of course, is
Big hit.
a big hit, of course, would be from Bon Jovi, "Living on Quail."
Bon Jovi, yeah. That's always
Okay.
good. Can we listen to Bon Jovi?
Yeah, can we listen to Bon Jovi, "Living on Quail"?
Bon Jovi comes from my home state.
He comes
New
from New
Jersey.
Jersey, Trevor, our home
I
state.
was born in Perth Amboy.
Yeah,
At the same hospital that he was when he was a kid. We're a few years apart.
yes, that's what we should listen to, by the way.
And someday, John will have to rock together.
That would sound good to me, John Bon Jovi,
Whenever you say Richard Hell,
and I tell you, his name is Witcher Sambora, by the way.
Ricky Sambora.
Wiki Sambora, by the way. I forgot his first name. It's Wiki Sambora, not Witcher Sambora. But by the way, Bon Jovi, for William Robert Taylor, including myself, the liberal Democrat Perry Williams, and the communist Trevor Williams, would like to rock and roll with you, Bon Jovi. It would be totally great. For you, Bon Jovi, and what are you going to say?
I do.
Well, I was going to say what we've been talking about over the years. My wife Gloria and myself, and the kids, my two sons.
Maybe we'll
We
add
talked about,
music
about
to
New
the
Jersey.
series
That's
of
what we
things.
can do is get a place in Florida, and then go up and go stay at a place for Jersey.
That's if we were rich.
We can
Well,
get
we're not
a.
rich.
we-
We can't do that.
When we
It's
get,
a dream.
it is a dream. When we get rich, we
Yes.
Bon Jovi, John.
Dream on, dream on, dream on, dreamer, John.
we can get a
I'd like to come help you a little at your Red Bank.
Dream on,
New Jersey.
dream on,
Place
dream
to
on,
get
dream
together
on,
for people.
dream on.
And by the way, Bon Jovi, as soon as after we get rich, we're gonna have a house in not only Florida but New Jersey, and of course we'll also.
Why are we talking to Bon
I don't know what
Jovi?
we're talking to him for. We're just talking to him for. I was born, like I said, per fanboy and all. Grew
He's
up.
not working
I brought up
class.
Hazlitt, New Jersey.
He helps the poor
It's a nice,
travel.
nice little town,
Oh,
surrounded by Manawan.
He does.
Keyport.
He helps the
and Homeville,
homeless.
New Jersey.
Do you remember
You
that
know, all
song
that.
with
So,
Jennifer Nettles and
And
Sugarland? We got a praise
nice
go
to
home.
just come
that
enjoy the
about
state.
that.
and I
It was
was in
about
love with it.
homelessness, getting a place for people to
My
stay.
dad wanted to move for new opportunity. We moved in '73 from New Jersey to Florida, St. Petersburg. And like we're going back to St. Petersburg now. It'll be nice from there and finally go back to New Jersey again. To just enjoy.
And by the way, Bon Jovi, if you are watching us
Kendall
right
Jenner
now,
wears
you can
Devin
subscribe to
Booker's
our
gold
YouTube
medal
channel, The
doing
Commie and The
like-
Liberal, Bon Jovi. And
Maybe
hey,
he was that one viewer
when-
last time who stayed on there for a millisecond and then clicked off.
I don't know, Trevor.
And another guy that's from Jersey is the boss. That's
Oh.
Bruce
Springsteen.
Bruce Springsteen.
Well, we have
And
less
the
than
E Street Band, by the way.
But we won't get into talking about it. But
yeah.
he's another wonderful person, proud to have as our home state in Jersey. So
Well, we have less than we're getting. Let's see. Here we go. 3 minutes
And
left.
Bruce Springsteen's daughter, I forgot.
Jennifer's.
Jennifer Springsteen. I'm glad you won the Olympics, Jennifer Springsteen.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
yes, definitely. Congratulations.
I actually thought she'd win gold.
She
so
won gold.
She won silver.
Someone silver. Yeah.
Which was a bit disappointing, but
Yeah, she
still,
won silver
Silver's
too.
not bad.
Not bad. At least she got something.
Yeah, it's not something to be grateful for.
But as China trying to say they won the majority by claiming Hong Kong and Taiwan, the latter of which is not recognized as being Chinese territory by most countries.
Most people consider Hong Kong just a country by itself.
I said Taiwan, but
Taiwan.
Hong Kong is a part of China. That they might have something to say. Really?
And hey, having something to say and all that, this is offbeat. We're just talking about Jersey and the guys, from the band, Bruce and John. I was going to say, we got to hit the flea markets. We used to go every other Sunday or so to Collinswood and Englishtown markets. And it was a wonderful place. Hopefully they're still there. So I really don't know. But I know I'll definitely come by. And what do you call it, with Red Bank, always going down the road on Route 55, Route 55. You take you right through there. And of course, it's the home of Friday
The 13th.
Whoa.
Which you should have done a video on.
Which I should have done a video on this past Friday. I didn't realize it was Friday till it was too late. And Trevor mentioned to me, I was trying to figure why are they trying to get.
It would have been a good first episode.
It
You
would have
would
been.
Of talking
I'm
hard.
sorry I wasn't there for it. But there's always in the near future. I have to look around for a Friday the 13th. Might be one in March or something. I don't know. Maybe it won't be another one for another year. But we'll find out. Look at that. And John has had his piece of doing horror movies. Seen in about 2, I believe. And I liked it. It was really great.
Okay, well, I'm the commie.
And I'm the liberal.
And I'm the father.
And
Goodbye.
goodbye,
See
and we'll
ya.
see you next time, and we'll see you tomorrow, Wednesday and
Thank
Friday.
you for sharing with us.
Thank you for sharing with us,
Share your
everybody.
time with you.
God bless.
God bless.